Hey guys, welcome back. JT here, and I hope y'all had a great week, great couple days after the holidays. If you celebrated Christmas, I hope it was amazing. If you didn't, I hope you just had some amazing time off, or just had a great day overall. And yeah, I'm finally back. I'm still not 100%, as you can tell probably with my voice. I'm kind of like monotoned right now, but I'm working at it. I'm getting there. I had a rough couple days. If you watched my last video, yeah, I went through it, and I'm on some medication right now for that autoimmune throat condition that I was telling you guys about, and it's the strongest medication they make. And I like homeopathic medicines, remedies. I don't like big pharma. I don't like taking medications. So the fact that I have to take this is kind of against what I believe in, and the fact that it's the strongest. It's on like week 2 right now, where it's starting to finally like do its job, I guess. And I'm like, I feel just bleh. And it's a rainy, gloomy day. It just feels like in the world, I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a full moon on Christmas, and it was the first full moon in 17 years, and the next full moon on Christmas is going to be in 19 years. So there's definitely something going on in the world right now, whether you guys have recognized it. And usually people that are chosen ones or awakened empaths that are of the light, when you go on your spiritual journey, you can just feel the energy in the world a lot more than most people. And there's something going on in the world right now, and they've been talking about it on Twitter like all the time, the past week and a half. And they said it's called a black swan event, which essentially means something inevitable is coming that can't be foreseen, but is something that should happen. Essentially, that's what a black swan event is. But I can feel it in the energy for the past like week, and with the full moon especially. I'm really connected spiritually, and I can, like, when there's full moons, I feel differently. I'm much more in my emotions. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative, but yeah, there's definitely something going on in the world. There's a shift happening. People are talking about it's turning into a new earth, essentially. And unfortunately, with Satan ruling the frickin' world and how politics are, and Biden with the United States, it's just like satanic. And there's tons of people doing YouTube videos on this right now, and like showing like different politicians that are walking with the devil, and like musicians that are walking with the devil, and like how much the world is getting influenced right now with energy. So yeah, there's definitely something going on, and you can comment in this video if you recognize that there's some kind of energetic shift happening right now, if you can feel it. If you don't feel it, I never used to recognize these things, but once I got on my spiritual journey and awakened, I can feel energy like immensely, especially people's energy. Like I know good people, like without even talking to them. I know who to bring into my energetic bubble and who not, who to keep out. But anyway, let's actually get into the video. So today we're going to be talking about the aging narcissist, and there was a bunch of comments on this wanting me to do this video, so we're going to do it. And yeah, thank you so much for your patience, and I hope my energy right now is not bringing you down. If it is, just click off and go do something happy, because yeah, I'm definitely lagging. I'm definitely behind. I slept like 4 hours. I went to bed at midnight and got up at 4. So I'm feeling a little rough, and I don't drink caffeine, so bear with me. But let's talk about the aging narcissist. So before we start this, I'm going to give you a little analogy that I thought of earlier. Think about when you create habits, right? Think about different types of habits you might have created, bad habits or good habits. Let's say you smoke cigarettes for a month. How easy is it going to be to stop smoking cigarettes after 1 month? Let's say you smoke cigarettes for 10 years. How difficult is it going to be for you to quit smoking after 10 years? Let's say you go to the gym for 1 month. How difficult is it going to be to stop going to the gym? Let's say you go to the gym for 10 years. How difficult is it going to be to stop going to the gym after 10 years? Right? The time makes a difference, but it's a pattern and it's a behavior. So what I'm trying to say with this is, we have to think that the narcissist has learned a behavior from childhood. They learn these bad behaviors, these toxic traits, these toxic characteristics, and they've been living by them for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, right? So if they've been living in these behaviors, and the way I look at behaviors is just an emotional habit. Behavior is an emotional habit, right? A behavior becomes a habit. So if we know that their behaviors are habits and they're habit forming, and what I just told you about the gym or smoking cigarettes, if you've been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years, what's going to happen? It's going to be almost impossible to change, and the person has to want to change on top of it. But the narcissist gets everything they want by doing what they do, by doing their manipulations and being the center of attention and getting validation from everyone else. So they're going to choose not to change. And I've listened to dozens of PhDs and psychiatrists and doctors that all say the same thing. It is very, very unlikely that a narcissist can or will change. And they said, even with intensive therapy for years. And does a narcissist ever go to therapy? I forget what the statistic is, but it's less than 1%, less than 0.5%. It's like astronomical. Because again, if a narcissist gets everything they want, they're not going to go to therapy, and they're going to look at the therapist as below them. And I remember the ex-narc told me she would never go to therapy. Because again, narcissists are godlike beings. They believe they're godlike beings on a pedestal. Why would they need to go to therapy? They don't need therapy. They're king shit, queen shit. So don't hold out hope that the narcissist is going to change. But with what I was saying about habits and behaviors, if we know that they've been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years of this negative behavior, what happens? They become more ingrained over time in the behavior. They go deeper and deeper into the behavior. It becomes a part of who they are. It's enforced by their ego. So over time, the aging narcissist actually gets much, much worse. And when I say much, much, I mean like astronomically worse. They get deeper into their manipulations because as time goes on, for the narcissist being in those behaviors, it's who they are. It's their identity at this point. So they need to be the center of attention even more. They need to triangulate even more. If your family members, if any of you are watching and you have a narcissistic mother or father or caregiver that took care of you, notice how much worse they are now as they're older. It's 100 times worse. So don't think that, with time that it's going to get better. It's the opposite. The aging narcissist gets 1,000,000 times worse. And what we have to understand with behaviors, again, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. It's a emotional habit. And with any habit, once you've been in it for a long time, it becomes extremely, extremely difficult to break. So with the narcissist, as they age, they go down this rabbit hole deeper and deeper and deeper. They become more toxic over time. There's no like mechanism of action. Mechanism of action is like with science, so you take a supplement and the main ingredient affects like your metabolism or your nervous system. That's the mechanism of action, the thing that's happening to make an effect. The mechanism of action for a narcissist has already happened when they were younger. So the effect has been taking place. There's no going back. And I want people to realize this because the longer you stay in it, the worse and worse it gets. Their validation, their triangulation, them having to be the center of attention gets so much worse. And what we know with the narcissist is whether your narcissist was attractive, good looking, had money, had power, had success, over time, what happens with all those things? They lose it, right? And if they lose it, that means their manipulations, their strategic and calculated deception plans are not going to work as well on people, on empaths. So over time, if your narcissist was attractive and they're losing their looks, they're going to step up their game. They have to step up their manipulations, because to get the same kind of supply they used to get, they're going to have to work 10 times harder to get that. But by working 10 times harder for a narcissist, all that means is that they have to step up the abuse. As they age, they have to step up the abuse to get the same kind of attention, the same validation that they got from their supply when they were younger. Because as they age, as we all age, we're all like, losing our looks, losing our body, losing muscle, gaining fat, getting wrinkles. We're getting closer to death every single day. And with the narcissist, they know that they need to step up their game at all costs if they want to survive. Because that's what it is about narcissists. They are on a survival mission. They need supply to survive. And if they're aging, they're getting into their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they're going to have to step up their game immensely to be able to trick you in the beginning. Because again, if the narcissist gave us the devalue stage right out of the gate, we would never stay with them. They have to love bomb, devalue, breadcrumb, and repeat the same toxic cycle to keep us on the hook. But when the narcissists age, they don't have their looks, or they don't have the power that they used to have when they were younger. So they have to figure out different tactics and different manipulation strategies to still get that person in the beginning. So they might go crazy with the love bombing. They might mirror you for an extra couple months. They might buy you all these types of insane gifts, right? They might step it up, and you might think that they're better, but it's not. It's just because they're aging, and they know that they have to step up their manipulations and their tactics and their plans and their calculated movements in order to keep you, in order to get you on the hook. Because once they get you on the hook, again, that's the trauma bond. Once they get you on the trauma bond, you get stuck, right? So just know that with the aging narcissist, everything gets 100 times worse. There's no lean back off of their toxic manipulations or anything that they do in order to try and get us. And I realized this recently that, I look at the timeline of, when a narcissist became a narcissist, which is in childhood. And if we look at in their 20s, this is where they're mastering their manipulation tactics. They're mastering the triangulation, they're mastering the breadcrumbing and everything. And then in their 30s, they have it down. They know who they are. Their behaviors are set in stone. Every single day, they know exactly what to do. And then by their 40s, that's when they usually have to start stepping it up and start changing and tweaking things to continue to get that same supply. And when they go even further than that, 50s, 60s, a lot of times the narcissist will go into paranoia because they think everyone is out to get them, because again, it's all about them. As they get older, it becomes even more about them. Like, you better believe you need to give all of your attention and then 100x that as they get older. It has to be all about them. They'll get paranoia when they're older. They think every single person, because again, your brain is deteriorating as you get older. We get Alzheimer's, we get dementia, our brain is deteriorating. And if you think about this disorder, it's a disorder, like it's a brain disorder. What happens as we get older? Our brains deteriorate. The disorder is going to get worse, right? And it makes perfect sense why a narcissist as they age would get worse. So I just want you guys to understand that, don't think that by going no contact for 10 years and thinking, they might change. It's getting worse. And you can comment on this. You can let me know about any family members or siblings or people you've dated that were narcissistic, and then You know, maybe you saw them 5-10 years later, and if they seemed better or if they seemed worse. In my case, I've gone no contact with my father and stepmother now for 10 years, or just over 10 years. And I know because my little sister still talks to my father and stepmother, and way, 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 way worse. So just know that the aging narcissist, there is no redeeming them. And that's why I always preach to, you know, once you get out, never go back. Whether it's 6 months later, a year later, 5 years later, maybe the Hoover comes 5, 10, 15 years later. They didn't change, but again, they've changed their manipulation tactics. They've changed the way they deceive people, their deceptions. So just know that if you do hear from them years and years and years later, be very, very careful, because as they're aging and they're changing those tactics, you might think in the beginning, oh, they're changed. They're not. They're not. They just changed their tactics to be able to reel you back in. They have to do this in order to get you again. So be very, very weary of that. But I think I'm going to conclude the video there, guys. I am exhausted and it's still morning time, so it's nap time. Please comment on this. Let me know what other kind of videos you want to see. I'm still going to do the Fallen Angel video very soon. I have 2 other videos I'm very excited to do. I'm still gaining more research on the topics because it's not really talked about, and I'm only going off my own experience with it. I still will do the in-depth witchcraft video, which is going to be a long one because there is so much that goes into that. And I will be doing the religious narcissist videos, the covert religious narcissist videos. Oh, those are the worst. The covert religious narc. Oof. But I hope you guys enjoy the day. Stay safe. Go get a workout in. I hope you guys have more energy than I do. And yeah, comment on this video if you feel an energetic shift happening in the world. If you're noticing it, if you're seeing other people talking, I'm seeing all my YouTube people that I follow are all in the spiritual aspect or godly or like energy source. So everything I see on YouTube is like everyone's talking about this shift that's happening right now. So if you feel that happening, please let me know in the comments, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the day, guys. Stay safe, get a workout, and if you can, eat healthy and be the best version of yourself. Become authentically you and continue on the healing journey as God has meant to put you there. Later, guys.
I can see the fire that we made just to save us when we try to make up for never letting go. Said the things we promised not to say.